Hi, I'm Roxanne.
And I'm Blake, and this is CHOW Tour Austin.
Austin's cuisine is no longer defined by just barbecue and Tex-Mex, thanks to a new crop of young creative chefs.
We explored 3 of the city's innovative restaurants, starting with the most unlikely sounding of all, a sushi place called Uchiko.
I kind of wanted to take sushi and turn it on its head and add things to it that were more familiar with the American palate and kind of brighten it up a little bit. Selfishly, it's the restaurant I wanted to eat at.
Chef Tyson Cole made his take on ceviche with scallops and tomatillos.
I had a part-time job at a Japanese restaurant while I was going to college. I had never tried food like that before. Grew up with middle America, white people food. The raw fish part, I hated it first, and then little by little I became addicted to it. You know, I got to be friends with all the sushi chefs that worked there and watched them every day, and it was really intriguing. It was kind of like a bartender that had a sharp knife and a wood board, and you could talk to people all day and just cut shit up. In Japan, you don't even touch the fish for 5 years. It's a little quicker velocity in America. I only studied under Japanese master sushi chefs. Worked behind a sushi line for about 10 years before I opened my own restaurant. And we've been voted the #1 restaurant in the city for the past 5 or 6 years. You would think that a quality sushi place would either A, be in a big city, or B, be somewhere that has probably a bit much larger Asian population, not somewhere so far inland, or especially in the South or Texas. The beauty of it is it's 2011, and you know everything's accessible now. You can have a place like this in the middle of Texas, and it be the level where people fly in from all over the country to eat here.
I think our food doesn't fit in. You know, it was something that was totally different to Austin.
This is Ned Elliott. He owns Foreign and Domestic with his wife, Jody.
My background is in a lot of French kitchens in New York. Worked for Alain Ducasse for a long time and Thomas Keller. And my wife's background is more of a rustic American, working for Claudia Fleming at Gramercy Tavern and David Boulay at a Boulay Bakery. I would say that the cooking is sort of rustic modern. We do some things that are, you know, rustic with the organ meats, and also some things that are more modern with gluing meats together and things like that.
Ned made a dish with pork belly, dried fruit, and toasted oats.
The pork belly, since it's so fatty, sweet, and meaty, and we like to pair that with lots of dried fruits. We poach them in a little bit of a chicken stock, red wine, and then we also pair it with some roasted chicken livers and some oats. I'm not a big crispy skin fan. I like more of the gelatinous fattiness in pork.
The belly was fatty and chewy, with the tartness of the fruit cut through the richness.
Finally, we went to Eastside Showroom and met owner Mickey Spencer, a metalworker who custom built the interior.
When we were building out the place, we actually chipped away all the plaster off the walls to expose the brick. I mean, we did a lot of dirty work to get the place open. All the metal work is my own work. I built the bar, all the furniture, the tables, pretty much everything except for the chairs. Austin's pretty big about buying locally and buying organic, but on the flip side of that, to be honest, there's not a lot of restaurants that really cater to that.
This is Sonia Cote. She's the executive chef.
I use only local ingredients. We are farm to plate, we are nose to tail, and we serve things that are uncommon in most restaurants around town, like antelope and bison and tongue.
Sonia made a rabbit roulade rouge.
The bunnies come from Countryside Farm, a gentleman named Sebastian. He raises them himself and processes them himself. So I know that's a really high quality animal. We got our bacon. This is sauteed spinach and sorrel, medjool dates, green onions from Springdale Farm, garlic, shallots that are grown locally, feta from Waco, Texas, and I have just a tiny bit of red wine vin. It's local honey also, it's from Round Rock. You want to mix it really well too, because otherwise you might get a weird chunk of feta or something. All the flavors should be even. I'm kind of going for a kaleidoscope look. The regular dining public in Austin is a little bit more used to, I want it this way, I want it now, I want it fast, I want ketchup, I want mayonnaise, I want mustard. And we don't offer all of those things. If I made mayonnaise today, we might have it, but it's not a have it your way kind of establishment. I want you to experience our art, our craft.
The bacon kept the rabbit meat really juicy, and the salty feta cheese and greens in the filling gave it plenty of flavor. Bye.